Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel.
If you've been paying attention to the news lately, you've probably noticed a lot of chatter around Bitcoin. Some experts are saying it's about to explode, and in today's video, we're going to break down why that's the case. So, if you're holding Bitcoin, or you've been thinking about jumping in, you'll want to stay tuned for the next few minutes. Section 1. Bitcoin's recent performance. Let's start by talking about Bitcoin's recent performance. Over the last few months, Bitcoin has been moving in a way that's making people think it's on the verge of something big. Sure, there have been the typical ups and downs that come with any volatile asset, but recently, Bitcoin has been showing some very strong signs of recovery. We've seen it bounce back from some major drops and start moving steadily upward. In fact, it's been outperforming a lot of traditional markets. But what's really making people excited? Well, there's a combination of factors at play, and if you look closely, you can see why the next move could be explosive. Section 2. Institutional investment. One of the biggest reasons Bitcoin could be primed for a big explosion is the surge in institutional investment. Big companies and financial institutions, which used to be skeptical about Bitcoin, are now diving into the market. Companies like Tesla, MicroStrategy, and even major banks like JP Morgan are not just talking about Bitcoin, but actually putting it on their balance sheets. But it doesn't stop there. We're seeing investment firms launching Bitcoin-focused funds and ETFs, making it easier for more institutional money to flow into the space. These big players aren't just here for a quick profit. They're looking at Bitcoin as a long-term store of value, similar to gold. And when these institutions enter the market, they bring with them the kind of liquidity and legitimacy that drives prices higher. Section 3. Halving event. Now, let's talk about the Bitcoin halving event. If you're not familiar with it, the halving is when the reward for mining Bitcoin is cut in half. This happens roughly every 4 years, and historically, it's been a key driver of price growth. The last halving event in 2020 set off the bull run that saw Bitcoin soar to new all-time highs. In 2024, we're going to see another halving, and many experts believe it could trigger a similar price surge. Why? Because it cuts the supply of new Bitcoin entering the market, creating scarcity. As demand for Bitcoin continues to rise, that reduced supply can lead to a sharp increase in price. Section 4. Bitcoin as digital gold. Another factor pushing Bitcoin toward its next big move is its growing role as digital gold. With inflation concerns skyrocketing and central banks printing more money, people are starting to look for alternatives to traditional currencies. Enter Bitcoin. Many investors are seeing it as a hedge against inflation and a store of value, much like gold. Bitcoin's fixed supply, there will only ever be 21 million BTC, gives it an edge over traditional currencies that can be printed endlessly. As more people recognize this, Bitcoin could be poised to rise even higher in value as a safe haven for wealth. Section 5. Global adoption. On top of institutional investment and its appeal as digital gold, global adoption is another reason Bitcoin is primed to explode. Countries are starting to explore Bitcoin as a legitimate form of currency. Take El Salvador, for example, which made Bitcoin legal tender back in 2021. Other nations are watching closely, and we might see more countries follow suit. Additionally, businesses around the world are starting to accept Bitcoin as a payment method, including major names like PayPal, Overstock, and even some fast food chains. As more people use Bitcoin in everyday transactions, the demand for it will grow, potentially driving the price higher. Section 6. The rise of DeFi and NFTs. Let's not forget the explosion of decentralized finance, DeFi, and non-fungible tokens, NFTs, both of which have fueled a lot of interest in cryptocurrencies. While Bitcoin isn't directly tied to these technologies, its underlying blockchain is the foundation for many of these innovations. As more projects, apps, and ecosystems grow on the Bitcoin blockchain, we could see a surge in interest in Bitcoin itself. DeFi, NFTs, and smart contracts are all pushing the limits of what's possible with crypto, and Bitcoin is the gold standard of digital currencies. Section 7. The bottom line. So, is Bitcoin really about to explode? All signs point to yes. Between growing institutional investment, the upcoming halving, the rise of Bitcoin as digital gold, increasing global adoption, and the explosion of new crypto innovations, it's clear that Bitcoin has the potential to break through new price levels. But, as always, remember that investing in Bitcoin comes with risk. It's volatile, and it's important to do your own research before making any moves. If you're already in, make sure you're prepared for both the highs and the lows. If you're just getting started, now might be the perfect time to jump in. Just make sure to manage your risk accordingly. That's it for today's video. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Bitcoin is about to explode? Or is it just another hype cycle? I'll see you in the next video.